During my career, I met a lot of different employers. Some of them were good, some of them were okay, and some of them were terrible. And I wish I hadn't wasted my time on any of them. That's why in this video I'm gonna share you some red flags that you might encounter during an interview process, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did and don't end up wasting 1 or 2 years of your career on a toxic job. First, if you ever during an interview hear a phrase, "We are like a family here," run. This is a cheap trick that some employers use to guilt trip you into working more for less. You will be a family to them when it's convenient for them, not the other way around. Hey, can you come in on your day off? To help the family. Hey, could you stay late today? You know, for the family. But when you have problems of your own, they won't run helping you. They will shame you. How can you be so selfish when your real family have so much problems? My family is my wife, my brother, my father, my mother. Not my colleagues, not my boss. If your potential employer doesn't see the difference between professional relationship and your family relationship, run. Believe me, it's gonna get ugly at some point when your boss doesn't see the boundaries. Another triggering phrase for me is, "We work hard, we party hard." This usually means we have late hours, we have extra working hours, but on Friday we drink together until we drop. No thanks. Pass for me. I want to log into my job, do my work, get my money and live my life. I want to work to live, not the other way around. Who says I want to party with my colleagues? All I ever wanted was to have a fair wage, have respect. All this Wolf of Wall Street mentality, it's not appealing to me.
Now, if anyone here thinks I'm superficial or materialistic, go get a job at fucking McDonald's, because that's where you fucking belong.
I want to have life outside of work, so spending my free time with my boss doesn't seem fun. Sometimes during the interview you haven't yet stumbled upon any red flags, but you still feel uncomfortable. Why is that? Well, that may be because your boss hasn't said anything off-putting yet, but is acting extremely disrespectful. Folks, you have to remember that an interview is an hour when you and your boss is on your best behavior. If they cannot behave for 1 hour, do you really expect anything to change when you become a full-time employee? If anything, it would get worse. So if anything, and I mean it, anything feels off during an interview, it probably is. Same goes with being late. I respect your time. I come on time. If you make me wait for half an hour before the interview, you just shown me that you do not have any respect for me or my time for that matter. So potentially, if I am to become a full-time employee, it's going to be very ugly and it's going to be a toxic environment for me. Environment when I constantly feel disrespected. It gets worse if they ever lie to you during an interview process. Frequent example of this is when the salary they offer you on the interview is different from the job posting, or the job itself is different from the job posting. If they at any time offer you a test assignment that takes too long, don't do it. Run, just run. I know the story. You spend 6 days on the assignment, you submit it, and then they ghost you for months, and then they return with something like, "I'm sorry to let you know that we decided to proceed with a different candidate, blah 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 blah." And in some worst scenarios, I found out that the work that I submitted as part of my test assignment is actually being used, and they just didn't want to pay me for it. Or maybe they didn't want to hire anyone in the first place. Anyway, this is for sure a sign that they don't care about your time. Who has 5 or 6 days to work on some test assignments and later you may or may not be hired? Why don't they spend 6 days to prove to you that they are actually a company worth working for? Oh, they can't. Oh, how come? Oh, the company time is too valuable, huh? What a convenient double standard they have. Another unpleasant situation that you might encounter is when the company doesn't understand who they're looking for. For example, I had these cases in the past. My job was data analyst and I replied to job posting which was titled data analyst, and I came to the interview only to find out that who they're actually looking for was marketing executive. And they proposed this job to me, and even if I accepted it and I worked 1 or 2 years, I wouldn't be a great data analyst afterwards. I wouldn't be a great marketing executive. I don't know who I would be. And if the company really doesn't see the difference between two completely different professions, this is not a place to grow as a professional. This is not a place that would boost your career. This is actually a place that would set you back in your career growth. So if you're looking for a company in which you can grow, look for a company that understands what they're doing. Any personal questions during an interview is a huge red flag. I don't want to know if you're married. I don't want to know if you have kids or want kids, and I expect the same from you. Again, we're not a family here. We have professional relationship. So don't go into my personal life asking questions. I act the same. I don't care what you do, I don't care who you are, I don't care about your politics, I don't care about your religious views. I only care about our professional relationship. I care about the job that gets done, I care about the salary, I care about a company to some extent. But I don't really care if you're married, if you have kids, and so on and so on. And again, I expect the same from you. So if you look out for these red flags, I hope you find a place where you are valued. I made some mistakes in my career, and I encountered some toxic employers and wasted some years of my life. So hopefully you won't have to. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want more content on career, productivity and self-growth. And thank you for watching, and good luck on your next interview.